All right, and welcome in to the Rob and Kale Show. I'm Rob Sanders. Thanks for joining us this evening. I'm, of course, in Columbia, South Carolina. It is bye week for both South Carolina and Clemson. Oh, man. My buddy needs a bye week, but he is toughing it out. He is Mr. Carolina Jackpot with the Penn State hat on. Kale Hall. Kale, what's up, buddy?
What's up, guys? How's everybody doing tonight?
I'm holding it down. Shout out to everybody in the comments section. Appreciate you guys as always. And we're going to go through our picks this evening. These are week 9 in the Callaway's Pick'em Challenge. We'll go ahead and get started with these, Jackpot.
Good evening, Mr. Zona Tucson. How are y'all? How you doing?
First game is Notre Dame at Navy. Notre Dame is a 12.5-point favorite, Jackpot. I'm rolling with the Service Academy to cover. I know Notre Dame had that loss to Northern Illinois, and there's just something about this Navy team that says they're going to control the ball, and all that talent Notre Dame is going to have is going to be neutralized by the fact that Navy's going to control the tempo. So give me Navy plus 12.5 at home.
Yeah, everything you said is true, but I just don't think Navy is as good defensively as like Army is. So I can see them giving up some points here. Notre Dame's been playing pretty good lately, so I'm unfortunately going to have to lay it with Rudy there, man. I hate to do it, but I would, yeah.
All right, next matchup is Mizzou at Alabama. Mizzou is a 13.5-point dog. This is after they gutted out a win against a shitty Auburn team, and after Alabama went up and lost in the land of hillbilly. The more and more I watch Mizzou, and I know that I said this on the rundown the other day, and Jackpot chimed in. Everybody talks shit about Mizzou, but they got one loss by their name. Yes, they do. But I just feel like this is a spot where I think Alabama's going to go in there with their hat in their hand, and an old lunch pail type game. I want to take the Tide minus 13.5.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with them too, but not really anything that they're doing. It's because Brady Cook is probably injured and most likely not going to play, or he's not going to play well. I just see this come crumbling down. Mizzou's really good against teams named UMass, but other than that, I mean, it's time that they've got to circle the wagons. You know, a lot of scrutiny around Jalen Milroe, a lot of scrutiny around Kalen DeBoer. Holy shit.
Right.
I mean, he's got to get it together. He's got to win this game and win it convincingly, in my opinion, and I think he does. But like I said, not so much what they're going to do, just the fact that Mizzou's kind of hampered a little bit.
Can you imagine if Mizzou goes in there and they beat them with Pine, who is their backup?
If they beat them, I'm going to be fucking mad.
Oh, shit. No, I'm just saying Alabama.
I'm fucking mad because we didn't do it, damn it.
Yeah, well, you got to get over that, Jackpot.
Well, but I'm not going to.
Alabama lost.
You can't make me.
To the entire state of Tennessee, and then they're going to go and lose to Mizzou. If that shit happens, holy shit. Yeah. All right, next game is Texas at Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt is getting 18.5. You know what I'm doing, Jackpot? I'm running with old San Diego, Rio Padre, whatever the hell you call him. The guy, whenever he's a double-digit dog, he always covers.
The Gaucho.
Whatever the hell he is. Motherfucker. And I'm taking Vanderbilt to cover. And you know what? It would make me happy if they won and I could watch those Texas fans that are going to pack Vanderbilt Stadium, watch them cry their way all the way back to fucking Texas. That would make me happy. But I'm going to take Vanderbilt plus 18.5.
Well, they haven't played a lot of SEC games yet so far, but I believe that Texas is 1-2 against the spread in SEC games.
Yes.
Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This is tough.
Shit, that was one of those games where Mississippi State's playing better, but that's one of the teams they were favored by like 30, and they only lost by like they only covered by they only went.
I think they beat them by like 17 or something.
It was some closer thing than it should have been.
Yeah. I guess I'm going to take Vanderbilt here. I don't know. Logic tells me, though, to take Texas. It just tells me that, they need to come out and make a good showing of themselves after that loss to Georgia. I mean, defensively, everybody's got what Vanderbilt does on film now. You'd think that we'd see some teams starting to have some more success stopping that. Hell, Ball State did better against it than the SEC teams have done. What the hell?
Well, that's because what Vanderbilt's doing is they're utilizing. They don't have size, so they're just taking quick guys and putting them out there and putting them in spots where they're making these more athletic players have to focus and play focus football, and a lot of them don't normally have to do that. So,
that was interesting. That I was listening to Cole Kublik talking about. He was talking about South Carolina, and he was talking about their defense and breaking them down and stuff. And he was talking about Dylan Stewart and for being a freshman, talking about that he had really, really strong pocket presence, especially that he'd never seen that in a true freshman. And I'm like, what the hell is he talking about pocket presence? He ain't a damn quarterback, but he's talking about like over pursuing and shit like that. That he's really aware of where the play is going to go. So that's interesting. Sometimes you learn some things from people like that. You know what I'm saying? You can listen to him and actually learn some stuff.
Yeah.
You listen to Juice Poop. He'll tell you about all these teams who lost last week and how it's okay and pat them on their little head. You know who Juice Poop is?
Yeah, Josh Pate.
Yeah, our buddy Uncle Lou referred to him as Juice Poop, which I found hilarious.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Are you taking Vandy or Texas?
I told you Vandy.
Okay, I thought you said you were wavering and maybe go with Texas.
No, I'm not wavering. I'll take Vanderbilt there.
All right, next matchup is we put this on here simply because of nostalgia. And when I was younger, Florida State and Miami was the game. Now, Florida State is a 21-point dog to Miami. Florida State is 1-6 on the year. They have to win out to go to a bowl game. They still have Notre Dame, Miami this week, and then they've got Florida at the end of the season. They could finish like 2-10. They really could.
Yeah, so they don't have any more. They don't have any FCS teams on the schedule.
I think they've got Charleston Southern. I'm looking at their schedule right now.
Okay.
But I think I'll give you the whole thing here. So they've got Miami this week, North Carolina at home next week, on the road at Notre Dame the week after that. Then they get a bye week to prepare for Charleston Southern. Get ready for the Buccos. And then they get Florida at home. They could go 2-10 jackpot.
Yeah, I mean they might be able to beat North Carolina. I doubt it. I think 3-9 is the best case scenario because they're not beating Notre Dame and they're not beating Florida.
Yeah.
That depends. I mean, well, Florida, I don't know if Billy Napier gets canned before then. I mean, will they give up too? I mean, who knows? But still, even if Florida gives up, I mean, I still think they can. Florida State's one of the worst teams I've ever seen. I mean,
they're really shitty.
It's really, I'm not lying. I mean, I'm not being facetious. They're awful. It's the absolute shits. It's not. And what's the deal with the ukulele? One of them said he was out for the season, and somebody else said he was just out for the Duke game. Is he done or what?
I heard he had a torn vagina. I don't know. I don't know what happened. I don't know.
Seriously, what?
I don't. I heard he broke his finger.
Right.
And had surgery on it, and then I heard that he could come back, but he's most likely out.
He's not. He's not going to. But hell, he'd be. I mean, he's awful. And I thought that replacing him might be an improvement. And I thought that one kid played a little better against Clemson, but then they come out against Duke, and no, they haven't. I mean, and plus their receivers are dropping passes too. So it's not all on the quarterbacks either, but still, I mean, the ukulele is awful, but God, I mean, he'd have to be better than neither one of those two clowns.
I think that the crazy thing is that Florida State's got 4 defensive linemen that are projected to be picked in the top 4 rounds of the NFL draft. I read that the other day.
Okay.
They got those 4 guys, and they are one of the worst in the conference against the run.
Rooster says DJ's not coming back. He'll take a red shirt year. How? For what? Medical? I guess.
I mean, isn't he 35 now? How the hell is he doing that?
Well, I mean, he could take a medical red shirt, I guess, this year, but he couldn't take a regular red shirt. He's played more than 4 games.
Yeah.
But, I mean, so he's a 5th-year player anyway.
Yeah, he's done.
Because he came in 2020. He came in the COVID year, and he was started for Clemson in 21 and 22, and he transferred to Oregon State 23, and now he's here. So, yeah, he's at 5. He'll be a 6th-year player. He's going to be on that Cam Rising plan.
Maybe he'll get some Vagisil and get it cleared up, and he can come back. We'll see. Look, the only way that Miami
he'll show up at Western Kentucky next year or so. Some shit.
That's where he'll be at Western Kentucky or fucking. He might transfer to like an HBCU. Be like leading, like I don't know.
Oh, I forgot to tell you. What I saw it in the live stream. Well, when I was watching the Miami game during the live stream on Saturday.
Yeah,
and that dingaling who quit the program at Carolina like the week before the season started, the wide receiver they picked up from Louisville in the transfer portal that put himself back in the transfer portal and left. He was out there. He was playing for Louisville Saturday.
Of course he was.
Huggins Bruce, he was fielding punts. Fuck that guy. I mean, how can you get on scholarship? I think Gamecock Chuck was explaining it that he would have to like be a walk-on or something.
Gamecock Chuck puts out some good stuff, by the way.
Yeah,
he's very logical stuff too. Biscuit wants to know tear. I don't know, Biscuit. We will get our clitoris team on that to investigate. We'll let you know
the CCT, the clitoris clinical team.
That's right. We have our own clitoris clinical team right here on the Rob and Kale show. Once we figure out what happened to DJ's vagina, we'll let you know. Someone else who has a vagina is that receiver at Louisville. Leave it like what is your problem? Anyway, I'm taking Miami to cover. I think they're going to put the boots to him, Jackpot.
Yes, I'm going to take Miami also. I think 21 is way too short of a line. I mean, they opened up the season. They beat Florida by like 30, right, on the road. And, I mean, only thing I don't like, Miami defense is not what I thought it was going to be.
The back end of that Miami defense is shitty.
Very. However, excuse me, Florida State doesn't have the weapons to expose it, so it's not going to matter.
I'm still waiting on the Florida State fans who were running their dick suckers at the beginning of the season and telling me about how Norvell's a great coach and he's a quarterback whisperer and all of that. I'm still waiting on them to come on the program and apologize. Apologize for the absolute shit you put out there. Because it wasn't
he's a quarterback whisperer. He'd be like, hey, Act like your finger's broken while you're having surgery because you suck. Okay.
Yeah. We know your clit's torn, but we'll blame it on your finger. Let it go. Yeah. Anyway, the next matchup is SMU at Duke. Jackpot. Duke is getting 11.5 at home.
Yeah.
I picked, if you watch the show at ACC kickoff, I picked SMU to go to the ACC championship game. Yep. And they have not let me down. They do not have a conference loss yet, but Duke's playing some good football too, Jackpot.
Yeah, they are. They beat Florida State. I mean, that's amazing. They have one loss they lost to Georgia Tech. Yep. So that's their only conference loss. That said, I mean, they're at home. Why is Duke laying or giving up like that many points? I don't get it. I mean, SMU's a good team, but I don't know that they've earned the respect to where we're laying them as 11, 12-point favorite. So I went with Duke, and that line's now dropped down to 10. I actually bet that game when it came out.
I think
it wouldn't shock me to see the Blue Devils win. And if you're a Tater man or you're a Miami fan, that's kind of what you want. You don't really want them to go undefeated in ACC play because you're just going to have a mess at the end of the year.
Anyway, I've got Duke there as well. The next matchup is Penn State at Wisconsin. I know Jackpot's wearing his Wisconsin hat, and I've said that Penn State is Cinderella. They go away once the pumpkins get here in October, but I think they cover this week. And I think they're going to have their hopes rocketed up for next week. And then Ohio State is going to mouth pump them. But I'm going to take Penn State minus 6.5.
One thing I've learned about history is it always repeats itself. Wisconsin has been playing pretty good football the past month, ever since they went out to Southern Cal and absolutely laid an egg in the second half of that game. They've blown out like their last three opponents in a row. Now, that said, those were it was Rutgers, Purdue, and I think Northwestern. So not exactly the class of the Big Ten there. But, I mean, something about James Franklin. He shits the bed every year. I don't know if he actually shits the bed here. I mean, I don't know that they actually lose this game. But 6.5 points, I think too much. I think the jump around is going to be jumping around, and I'm going to take Wisconsin.
All right. Illinois at Oregon. Illinois is getting 21.5 on the road. This is an Oregon team that they just got ranked as the number one team in the country. I think it's going to go to their head, and I will take old Bert, who we learned you can see from space. I'll take Bert and Illinois plus 21.5.
Yeah, I'm gonna be looking at the spaceship as well. I bet that game when I saw it too. I jumped all over it because it had that hook to it. I figured that line would move, but it's not moved. But I'm still pretty confident in Illinois' ability to go out there and dirty this game up a little bit, play some really good defense, and kind of keep Oregon in check a little bit. I think Oregon have kind of gotten they've kind of gotten fat off some crappy teams, which they did have a big win over Ohio State. Can't take that away from them. But like you said, all these teams get ranked number one for the first time. It seems like they immediately Texas. I mean, what happens? Tennessee. What happens?
They lose.
Same thing. I don't know that they lose. I don't know that Illinois has got the skill talent to actually go get the win there. But I think they can keep it close. This could end up being something like that Ohio State or that Penn State game for Illinois was there. And that.
All right, the next game, Jackpot, is for the Paul Bunyan Trophy. Michigan State versus Michigan. State is getting 5 points on the road. Michigan has no offense. They can't figure out what the fuck they're doing. It seems like they're just going to have a shit season, Jackpot. I'm going to take Michigan State plus the 5.
Yeah, it seems like anything there over 3, I'm comfortable with Michigan State. Michigan not having a very good year at all. I mean, it started with that loss to Texas. And they've kind of spiraled. They did beat USC. They managed to do that, but other than that, I mean, they just really haven't done a whole lot positive. I think it kind of all started going downhill when they were blowing out who was it, Minnesota at home, and then they let Minnesota come back and almost win. Ever since that, they haven't been right.
It's true.
I mean, Absolutely. They could lose this game outright. I think Jonathan Smith's doing some good stuff at Michigan State, but I still think they cover this matchup. It's going to be a good one there. Yeah.
All right, the next one is Cincinnati at Colorado. We thought that Colorado was going to be the shits all year, but Colorado has one Big 12 loss, and that's it. They're giving up 5.5 at home. It's crazy to me because I don't think Cincinnati is that good either.
No.
But, they have 2, I think, first-round talents in Hunter and Shedeur Sanders. So I'm going to take Colorado at home, 5.5, the late game on Saturday.
Yeah, they sounds like you listening to Carolina Jackpot's picks today. They just got better skill players. And if you look at Cincinnati's list of accomplishments this year, it doesn't include any teams that are very good.
Right.
So I think Colorado gets this one too. And they're running off some victories there. I mean, they haven't, I mean, how impressive they are, that's up to you. But I think they get the win here. I think they win by double digits.
They've been the shits for so long. The fact that they might go to a bowl game, Deion Sanders he'll have that shit show people thinking that the damn toilet bowl against Kentucky, whatever the fuck they get, the bowl season. Next matchup is the Battle of the Techs. Georgia Tech's at Virginia Tech. I'm taking Virginia Tech simply because Georgia Tech's not going to have their starting quarterback. I think Virginia Tech covers.
Yeah, sleeping noon game in Blacksburg. What's our line right now?
10.5.
Yeah, I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to roll the underdog there. I don't really care about the quarterback situation there. I thought Virginia Tech just came off a pretty big Thursday night win over Boston College. I know it sounds weird to say a big win over Boston College, but I mean they did. It was a night game. They got a big win there. I think maybe they don't they play Clemson next week or pretty soon.
Yeah, I think so. It's down the road there for Clemson. I can't remember.
Yeah, might be kind of looking ahead. Might be kind of looking ahead a little bit.
Yeah.
So I think Georgia Tech will lean on their run game, kind of muddy this game up, slow it down, keep it on the ground, keep it low scoring. I'm gonna roll with the Jackets there and that.
All right, the Kale Hall shitter this week is Auburn at Kentucky. You got Hugh Freeze, who wishes he could be back with the Whores. And you've got Kentucky, who, is glad that Midnight Madness is on and, they're getting jacked up to come play the Chef at Clemson this winter, by God. Yeah, but there's a football game.
Is that dipshit still there?
Don't knock a damn second team all ACC.
Is that dipshit still there?
I'm telling you, he's going to break his dick off in your Gamecocks. You watch that shit. It's going to happen. We're going to go fucking 2-0 against the SEC.
Yeah, but will he win, though?
We're going to go 2-0 against the SEC in December. It's going to happen.
2-0 against the SEC in December?
Yep, because that's what we have scheduled. We're not like some teams. We try to schedule good non-conference games.
Oh, we got a damn ACC team in December and the Taters. They play Kentucky. I was reading some reports here on Twitter. Our old buddy Matt Jones from Kentucky Sports Radio said that whatever they're doing up there. They're having an exhibition tonight or something in Rupp Arena that says they're literally scoring from everywhere on the floor.
Well, good for them because they're not going to play any fucking defense like Clemson plays all year. So
that's great. And then they'll play Bellarmine or somebody like that, and they'll fucking look.
Well, we'll get you a Kentucky basketball shirt. It's not a big deal. You can have it for that night. It's not a big deal at all. Anyway, the football game.
I'll just borrow your hat. How about that?
You can borrow the hat.
I'll borrow your hat.
All right.
Is that game at Rupp Arena or is that in the
no? It's at Little John
over there.
We're making them come to the cow pastures, brother.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Anyway, who you got? You're taking Kentucky or Auburn here? These are just two shit teams.
Excuse me. I don't know where to. I mean, I'm going to take Auburn because at least Auburn showed me some sort of promise last week. They should have probably beaten Mizzou. They shut down their own foot in the fourth quarter and couldn't finish it, couldn't seal the deal. I mean, Kentucky just looked like crap.
Right.
So I don't know. I think they might have given up too. They're probably going to have a losing record this year for the first time in a long time.
Yeah.
Sounds weird to say. Hell, I used to have a losing record every year, but to the victors go the schools.
I'm going to take Kentucky at home in honor of Big Barney Ross. Taking Kentucky at home. Not that I have any inside track on it. I mean, it's shithole versus shithole.
Biscuit says Auburn is one of those teams better than their record. So they lost to Cal and fucking Oklahoma at home.
Yeah.
They are what their record says they are.
Well, Biscuit's a smart dude. He may know something we don't know. I, on the other hand, think they both are shit. All right, we're going to take calls this evening. Now, listen, we're going to cap the show at 10 o'clock tonight. Jackpot is not well. I mean, let's just be honest.
I'm not well. I may have AIDS. I'm going to go get tested tomorrow for AIDS and that.
Possible AIDS. You got to stop licking those bathroom toilets, Jackpot. Got to stop doing it.
Well, I mean, you kind of have an addiction. It's not easy to kick.
I heard on the Mazodcast you got molested at Alabama. That's what you admitted to. I don't know if that's true or not, but we'll see.
I did not.
Okay, well, I mean, it sounded like you on the Mazodcast talking about you got arrested was it a glory hole at Alabama or you were? I don't know, something.
I don't know what I may have said.
There's the link there. You were on the Mazodcast and said you got molested at Alabama. Let's welcome in Sporty. Sporty, how's life on campus?
Good evening.
Dude, I'm not even on campus this semester.
Why not? Oh, that's right.
Internship and doing online classes because I have to sign a contract that says I have to do that because it's university policy. I had to sign a paper and give it to my internship director.
Are you staying at home?
No, I'm actually interning at Hammond School in Columbia. I'm working for their athletic department. So the school where all the coaches' kids go to.
Yeah.
All the coaches' kids go to. Yeah, I work for their
are you
athletic department.
You're not even living on campus? You're living at some apartment to work at Hammond?
No, I've lived off campus in my sophomore year as well. After your freshman year, you pretty much have to live off campus unless you want to be an RA.
Yeah, well, good for you.
A royal ambassador?
I was a resident advisor.
Oh, okay. I know in the Baptist church, RA was a royal ambassador.
So look, we're gonna give you some old man advice here. Stop watching this fucking show and go chase some women while you're in college. What the hell are you doing talking to two dopes about football? Go chase some women.
How do you know he didn't chase tail before getting on here or plans on doing it after?
Shit.
What if college football is my love?
Okay. I love college football too, but better go chase some tail, brother. Just saying.
Well, not good at that, but
Well, you got to figure that shit out while you're in college.
I don't know how
You
to.
make
Like,
all your mistakes.
I'm being completely honest here. I don't know how to be real with you.
Well, look, I'll give you the advice that my Master Chief gave me when I was in the Coast Guard. Okay.
I didn't know you were in the Coast Guard, Rob.
Oh yeah, I was. So here's the thing: you can go up to 10 different women and just ask them, "Hey, I think I'd like to have sex with you." You're only going to get slapped 8 times. One of them's going to go with you eventually, and the other one's going to be like, maybe. Just saying. Just keep asking until you figure it the fuck out. It'll work. The Master Chief theory. It works for everyone. All right, what do you got for the show this evening?
Yeah, I was just looking at some of y'all's spreads. I was just commenting down below in the spreads and just thinking over some of them in my head, and for the most part, I agreed with a lot of the ones that you had on the screen, Rob. There was one where I'm kind of tossing on the Kentucky and Auburn game. I said Kentucky in the chat, but now I'm just like realizing that. I mean, Auburn did play a very good game. They played almost good enough to win against Missouri. I mean, their offense is still the shits, but like. Their defense forced some turnovers. They had that special teams play with the muff punt. The thing is with Auburn is I just can't trust. Well, I can't trust either offense in this game. I think Auburn's got the ability to somewhat move the ball. I just don't think they'll turn the ball over a bunch. I think they're leading the SEC in turnovers or something like that. But
it's not us.
It's not us. Maybe it's us.
Not?
Right now.
Seriously? Okay.
Big Barney Ross says keep him 90 days, same as Cash.
Might be Oklahoma now that's leading the SEC in turnovers. I know early in the year Auburn was, but and I knew at some point it was us. But maybe it's Oklahoma after it turned it over 4 or 5 times against us.
I just don't think Preacher Freeze is going to let his team give up. It just seems like Kentucky might have given up. It seemed like they gave up in that Florida game. Like shit.
Is Stoops on the hot seat? I want Big Barney Ross to answer me that question. Like, I don't know this. I don't hear from many Kentucky fans. Like, what do the Kentucky fans think of Stoops?
He's not on the hot seat. He may leave them and retire. He's not on the hot seat. He's led them to their best set of football ever. At least they're somewhat competitive.
I mean, I agree with that, but like sometimes.
Look, you were. I mean, I know this sounds silly, but
they won 10 games.
Remember, like Joker Phillips and all that shit, and how terrible they were.
Yeah, 2-10.
Shit.
Yeah,
I remember who was it? Like, was it Connor Shaw that had like a 7 touchdown game against them, and South Carolina beat them like 63-3 or some shit?
I think that was.
I think it was 54-3.
That was like
Whatever
2011.
Yeah,
I think it was. They were bad. They were just really bad. So
yeah, and we lost to them the year before.
Yeah, the 2010 game where
I'm trying to rub
blew a 28. We blew a 28-10 lead against Kentucky that year.
How the fuck does that happen?
But to be fair though, you won like so many games in a row against them. I mean, it was stupid at one point because I mean you owned that series for so long. There was two guarantees every year for South Carolina. They were going to beat Vanderbilt and Kentucky, So, but I don't know. They're not going to get rid of Stoops. That's not happening. He may retire.
Well, he be. I think he'll be on the hot seat going into next year.
That's what I'm thinking personally.
He's going to be because he's going to become like a Phil Fulmer. Like a Frank Beamer, a victim of his own success.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. I mean, he did win 10 games 2 times, but honestly, that's the peak of what he's been able to do. And because of that, every 7-8-ish win season he's had in the past has been a disappointment because of that.
All
right, so South Carolina had
you're correct.
You said
I remember the streak, Rob. It was from 2000
October
all the way till 2000. through the 2009 game, we won 3.
So you won 13 out of 14 against
10
them.
games in a row. Yeah.
Yeah, but 13 out of 14 against them. And I mean, there was some games in there that, I mean, they were legitimately like in 2011 you beat them 54-3. In 2012 you beat them 38-17. You beat them 44-6.
I remember that was a road game. We were losing that game. I remember that because I was working at Ingles, and I was helping the kid that was the meat department manager do his inventory. We worked the third shift that Saturday night, and I helped him do his inventory. And he was a Gamecock fan too, and I listened to the game. I don't remember. I didn't listen to it on my phone because you couldn't do that then. I think I had a radio somewhere stashed away, and he was like, "Don't tell me what the score is." I was like, "Oh, all right, I won't. We won, but okay."
I'm reading Big Barney Ross's comment on taking Auburn to win unless Gavin Wimsatt is starting for Kentucky. But I will say that Brock Vandegrift has looked so far this season like a guy who backed up a guy who backed up a guy who had brain surgery. I'm referring to DeVaughn Mathis. But
Brock Vandegrift is a jag. He's jag level 10, just a guy. Gavin Wimsatt is a Kentucky guy who started his college football career at the State University of New Jersey.
Wasn't he at Rutgers last year?
Yeah.
Okay. That's what
I believe so. I know it was there in 2022 because he started the game that I went to.
Yeah. All right. Well,
it's terrible. He couldn't throw the ball. Damn. That offense was like shit.
All right. You have a good night, Sporty. We'll talk to you later on.
All right. See you, Rob. See you, Jackpot.
Do you?
There you go. Rob has an SEC bias. Joins us. What's up, buddy?
Good evening, gentlemen. How are y'all doing?
Hey, man.
Better than we deserve.
Hey, so one of the just main thing I want to talk about is there were just some Pro Football Focus grades that dropped for ranking as far as the college football players by position goes. And I think you'll be surprised at some of these numbers. According to Pro Football Focus, Eman Warri's the top safety in the country. Demetrius Knight's the number 2 linebacker in the country. O'Donnell Fortune, the number 7 cornerback in the country. Dylan Stewart, number 7 edge rusher in the country. Kyle Kennard, number 10. TJ Sanders, the number 15 defensive tackle. And Jalen Kilgore was a top 10 nickel cornerback.
How is Dylan Stewart ranked all the way down there, and Demetrius Knight is the number 1 linebacker?
2. Number 2 linebacker. Yeah, they gave him a 92.3 pass rush grade and an overall 83.3 defensive grade.
I'm not saying he sucks or anything, but damn.
Well, Pro Football Focus is giving us some love. The one that surprises me most is the O'Donnell Fortune one because, I mean, he just had a bad game versus Ole Miss.
Yeah.
I figured that'd pull him out of the conversation. I don't really have too much complaints about anything else. I mean, the Demetrius Knight one's a little bit surprising. But, yeah, I mean, some definite some high praise from the lads over at Pro Football Focus. By the way, Rob, your camera's bugging out a little bit. Are you still there?
I don't know what. Yeah, my camera's acting silly. It just keeps. I don't know. I think my dog knocked it off earlier. I think I gotta plug it back out and plug it back in. It's just acting silly. So we'll do what we can here. Yeah, whoop that dog. No, I'm not gonna do that.
But yeah, I think this bye week comes well. Is this the Clemson's first bye week, or is this y'all's second as well?
It's the I don't know. I can't remember.
They've had about 6 of them so far.
Pretty much, yeah. You're not wrong there. I think this bye week's perfect for the Gamecocks. I mean, Texas A&M is probably going to be, if not Clemson. I think Texas A&M you probably got to give the edge to right now. It's probably going to be the toughest game left on your schedule.
I mean, okay.
Yeah, they do everything South Carolina does well. They do well too. So on defense, and thing is, I mean, they at least have they can at least move the ball. I mean, their offense is not. I mean, it's not great. I mean, it's average, but yeah. We're below average, so that's where the problem is.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad we got a bye week coming up because I mean, as much as we give hell to Missouri up until recently, Texas A&M has been that monkey on our back too, and I still haven't shaken that off yet. I'm still a little fearful when I see
refresh really quick, gentlemen. Hold on.
All right.
Go ahead and do your thing.
But yeah, I'm excited. I missed who you picked in the A&M LSU game. I was driving. Who'd you fall with?
I don't think we even picked that one.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that not on Saturday?
It is. It's on the docket there. I'm sure it is. I'm taking LSU. I just think they have more playmakers than A&M does. They just look a little bit better to me. I
agree. I mean, South Carolina lit a fire under LSU's ass. Randall better be thanking Shane Beamer with everything he's got.
I said, I think that A&M home field advantage is overrated. Mike Bridges wants to know, does South Carolina go get a portal QB for next year? No, I don't think so. Would you?
Really? I think we do. I think to progress Lenoris to what he needs to be, we got to have some competition in there. I mean, everybody, when we brought Ashford in.
Oh, I think he's talking. Is he talking about one to potentially start, or is he talking about another backup?
I think he's talking about one to battle out for the starting job. That's what I think he's talking about, which personally I wouldn't be mad at. I mean, either Lenoris rises to the challenge.
Yeah, either he rises to the challenge or he rises on out.
Exactly right. And that was my main concern with bringing in Ashford is everybody knew he wasn't really going to threaten for the number one spot when we brought him in. So I just from a pure competition standpoint, I mean, I feel like quarterbacks that a room where you got to have somebody constantly pushing the starter. You know what I mean? It's not like the NFL where you just bring in a backup who can throw and practice. You got to have somebody that can actually be a threat. So hopefully we'll go out and do that. And
sorry, I didn't answer that one earlier, Mike, and made you waste another $5.
But
sorry.
Yeah, I've long said Lenoris can be great, but he can be bad. He can be really bad. And it's just what Lenoris you're getting each week.
Yeah, I agree.
But I don't know. What do you think is going to be
fucking inconsistent?
Well, yeah. Well, that's the Gamecocks. I don't know if that's just a curse we have, but the only real consistent quarterback we had was Connor Shaw. Even Steven Garcia lost to fucking UConn. I mean, you know what I mean? The only consistent quarterback we've had.
That was a team effort, damn it. That was a team effort.
But, are you able to bring some more people on? I know Rob's coming back.
I cannot. Not from where I'm at right now, but he'll.
Well, I won't leave you by yourself then. Now, this Missouri-Alabama game.
Scared of the dark.
Well, this Missouri-Alabama game, I'm rolling with you. You picked Bama, I'm pretty sure, right?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, I think I don't know what DeBoer's problem is. I mean, I know they had a big exodus of players leave, but I mean, what he did worked at Washington.
Yeah, but he still got plenty of talent. I mean, he beat Georgia.
That's true.
I mean,
well, and then
he beat Wisconsin by like 40.
That and his scheme worked. It worked before Alabama. I don't know. You think with that talent though, you'd be able to do a little better. I mean,
I don't know. I think he's letting some inmates kind of run the asylum down there. I think they're undisciplined. Probably getting a little bit lazy. I don't know. You see that picture circulating there on Instagram and Twitter of where Ryan Williams painted his fingernails orange.
Yeah, I saw that, man.
I mean,
what the hell is that?
Does he have to troll somebody fuck with him because they lost? He had to do that or something?
Saban, listen, if he did that and Saban was still coaches, that motherfucker would be doing up downs until the damn nail paint chipped off his fingernails.
I know. Yeah.
You'd think, granted, he's still got that big old cozy office at the stadium. You'd think Saban would still find a way to somehow get his impact still left on the team. But, I mean, did you see that quarterback sneak where they had two players practicing a fucking jump shot versus Tennessee?
Yeah, I saw something about that.
And DeBoer was asked about it, and he was like, "There's nothing they don't do on the field that isn't coached." So he's coaching 2 wide receivers to do a fucking jump shot on a QB sneak. Like
he jumped to the defense of that player the other week too about the instance where the Malachi Moore dude who kicked the ball against Vanderbilt when they were trying to kneel it out or whatever, and he kept kicking the ball out of the referee's hand. And
was that the one that refused to sub off too?
Yeah, he refused to get out of the damn game because they told him, they went out there. First off, they sent somebody in there for him, and he's like, no, I'm staying in. So the guy goes back to the sideline, and then the defensive coordinator goes out there to get him, and then he waves him off. And then DeBoer himself, I think, goes out there to get him, and he waves them off, and they're just like,
yeah. No, I've never even seen that at a high school level, let alone Alabama. You know what I mean? Maybe you could forgive it if it's from Jacksonville State, Miami of Ohio. You expect some bullshit coming out of programs like that. But Alabama, especially after you're getting your shit pushed in by Vanderbilt, man, Rob's having.
I don't know. Well, Clemson's offensive line coach, when he was the head coach at Ole Miss, he had players pretending to be dogs and pee on the Mississippi State logo in the end zone.
He was there for that?
Yes, that was the game that got him fired, or he may have gotten fired before that. I don't know, but I mean that's the kind of culture he had going on. That guy that they were winning the game.
Oh, they had won it.
They scored a touchdown, and that dumbass pretended to pee in the end zone on the touchdown, so they flagged them for unsportsmanlike and backed the damn extra point try up, which would have tied the game up by 15 yards, and they fucking missed it.
Listen, out of all the ways to lose the game, that's got to be one of the worst. You get a tying touchdown just to piss the fucking game away.
Yeah, nobody talks about that anymore, but that was just ridiculous.
That's almost as bad as Ryan Helinski trying to spike the ball backwards versus Missouri.
Oh yeah, when he tried to throw a touchdown pass to himself.
Yeah. Well, he did it twice. He tried to throw it to himself and then he spiked it backwards.
And the only person in the whole stadium who knew that was a live ball was the Missouri linebacker who picked it up and ran with it into the end zone. Everybody was kind of looking at him like, what are you doing, bro? And they're like, oh, wait, that's a touchdown. And you know what's pretty cool about that? You know why he was so intelligent? His name was Cale. Cale Garrett was the name of that young man.
That must be why. And you want to hear something interesting you might not know, Cale? You know who Clemson starts off the year against next year? You might like
LSU?
Yeah, at LSU.
Oh,
all right.
They're gonna get molly.
Rob, glad to see you back. I'll let you pull somebody else on, okay, Rob? But
I appreciate it, buddy.
No cops.
Thank you. Are you in a closet?
Brother, I don't know what the hell's going on with this goddamn camera. The dog jerked the thing off the thing and just fuck it. I don't know. I got to fix it. I may have to buy a new camera. We'll figure that out in the next day or so. Let's bring on Chris from Georgia. What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's up? I wanted to ask Cale if he still thought Kentucky was going to beat Tennessee in a couple weeks.
Well, I might want to rethink that one.
Cale
I
does
just hope we can get our offense back on. I hope that's a game we can get our offense back on point in that one. I'm hoping
you can probably do a lot of experimenting there.
But
Liberty's about to fucking lose to Kennesaw State, by the way.
Do what?
Liberty's about to lose to Kennesaw State. These motherfuckers out here.
Yeah, they're playing like shit.
They're in uniforms, look like a fucking bunch of bumblebees.
Well, they look like Mizzou. It looks like Mizzou Junior. I have the under in this game too, so I need nobody else to score.
I got Kennesaw State back-to-back natties on NCAA, so don't disrespect the Owls. But no, I'm curious what Kentucky's going to do at the quarterback position. I never thought Brock Vandegrift had a lot of Harrison Bailey in him. Tennessee fans remember him. He was a bigger kid than everybody. When he came into high school, I think he might have been held back in middle school, so he was bigger than everybody. He had a dad for a coach, and I think that helped his ranking a little bit, helped him get a real good ranking early. But nothing in his high school film ever impressed me. And then I think Georgia eventually was just like, hey, this kid's not what he's billed to be. And then ever since he started at Kentucky, I say all this, he'll probably beat the shit out of us. No, I did the same thing with Spencer Rattler 2 years ago, so I might want to look it up. But I just don't know, man. I didn't think he would be good, but I didn't think he'd be this bad either, man. I just don't know what's going on with them. Watching that Florida game, I wanted to see Florida. They're going to end up getting Billy an extension. If these teams don't stop it between Kentucky shit in the bed, they'll probably beat the dog piss out of FSU.
Yeah, I mean everybody does. So,
but that may be enough to keep him around. I think if he can get the 6 wins, he can definitely keep his job. But
I think so.
What's he at? 3?
4.
He's at 4.
4.
I think FSU's a win. I don't know. They're not going to beat Georgia. Georgia will dog walk them.
They won't beat LSU.
Ole Miss, man, you just never know what Ole Miss you're going to get. I think Ole Miss is on their schedule. You just don't know what you're going to get with them.
Yeah.
Hell, the team that they just dog walked beat Ole Miss, so who knows? But I don't know. They was talking about getting Dion. Florida State ended up getting Dion back.
Here's Florida's remaining schedule. They've got Georgia, Texas, LSU, Ole Miss, and Florida State.
Yeah. I'm curious to see what Texas does now. That was a pretty demoralizing win. It just usually takes one, but do they have the fortitude just to bounce back? That's bad. But who knows?
Well,
Maybe
you're going to see what you'll see. We got to what Sarkisian does there, how he coaches them up. I mean, because they're in that bounce back spot now. I don't think they've really been in that spot before.
Do they have it? There's a lot of good teams. Florida and Georgia are both off this weekend. Tennessee's off this weekend. South Carolina's off this weekend, ain't they?
Yep.
Did we figure out Clemson? Are they off?
Yeah, they're off too.
Bro, what are we going to have to talk about Sunday? We're going to have to bring the Kentucky man in to talk.
Alabama and Mizzou.
Alabama, Mizzou, and Texas A&M, and
Notre Dame and Navy.
Oh, yeah. I really hope Navy. Not just because they're already trying to sneak Notre Dame back in there, and they've probably got the worst loss in America, and they're already trying to sneak them back in there. If they beat Navy, they'll use that as they should beat Navy by 2 scores, but I really hope Navy beats them and just kind of eliminates the Notre Dame to the playoff talks. I honestly think that group of 5 spot should be Notre Dame or the group of 5, whoever's ranked higher. I don't think Notre Dame should just get a freebie, but
yeah. Well, I hope that Notre Dame drops both games to Army and Navy. Why not?
Shit, we're scared to play them. I can't talk no shit. But
I really think Army has a better chance of beating Notre Dame than Navy does. I think Army's got a better defense.
I'd love for them to both go into that championship undefeated. Now, that would be great. That would be the dream. But
yeah,
I'm curious how that's going to be handled. Like you guys were talking Sunday, if the Army-Navy game is at a time.
It doesn't matter what they do against Notre Dame. I mean, so that's
yeah.
In terms of that.
I wonder who Notre Dame's going to get out of the portal this year that'll get overhyped and then underwhelm all season at quarterback.
I'm trying to get Army's schedule here.
I don't know. They're going to get one, though. That seems to be the route they like to take.
Yeah, so they've got Air Force, who's not very good, North Texas, Notre Dame, UTSA. That's an interesting game. And then the Army-Navy game.
UTSA is not good.
But I'm just saying, as far as everybody else's schedule, they're not.
Yeah, they're not what they were a couple of years ago.
No, it was just Jeff Traylor's still there though, ain't he?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, I think they're one of those teams that gets ravaged by the portal now.
Well, I'm curious if he maybe Iowa State looks good this year, so Matt Campbell might get some attention again, but that happens sometimes. These coaches, they'll get hot for a second, and then the bigger schools will kick around and they'll like, I guess, their current situation better, or maybe they just didn't interview well and they'll end up sticking. I thought Matt Campbell made a mistake sticking at Iowa State, but it looks like he's cycling back around and coming back up. So we'll see how he does. But
He'll probably get an offer after this year. I bet he'll take it.
I'm
Probably
curious where he'd
realizes-
go. He doesn't seem to want a Southern football job, so I can't see Florida or Florida State coming after him if they're looking. I just don't know where he'll end up.
So Navy, by the way, they've got Notre Dame, Rice on the road. They go on the road
Baby.
to Florida. Tulane might be a tough match up, I guess. East Carolina's the shits. So it's even if both of them lose to Notre Dame, there's still a shot that they could meet each other. They don't have a tough schedule ahead of them here. Either one of them.
How is Tulane doing? I'm curious if they win 9-10 games. I'm curious if Kentucky, if they go 6-6 or worse, because if they win 7 or more, that includes a bowl game. They give Stoops a second year.
They're 5-2 overall. One of the standings here. Let's see who they played though. I know they
lost to Kansas State and Oklahoma.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. I'm curious if Kentucky, if Mark Stoops, which somebody said he's too young to retire, but Bob was the same age when he retired, and then their daddy died coaching at the same age Mark Stoops is right now. That's why because Bob said he didn't want to die coaching football like his daddy did, so he retired pretty early. I think there was some off the field stuff going on at Oklahoma too, though. But I'm curious if Mark Stoops don't step down soon, and if he doesn't, I'm curious if Kentucky makes a move and goes after Summerall. Man, Summerall would make me nervous at Kentucky. Summerall would make me nervous at Florida. He's a solid defensive mind. I think he could get the talent there. He's got extensive ties to Kentucky and the state of Florida and Louisiana right now, being at Tulane. He could be a problem if he got to a good. I thought they almost had him. If Texas A&M hadn't Shiano'd that higher, they probably would have John Summerall right now. But we'll see. I'll be pretty bored this weekend. I think I'm going to get up in the mountains if the weather's nice, ride around, get the bike out. But ain't nobody really too curious playing. I think my thing with Alabama, I was arguing with an Alabama fan. If Milroe doesn't show out in that game, I think you're going to have, even if they beat Missouri, if it's close, I think you're going to have a lot of people. It's going to be kind of like when Tennessee beat Florida and they dropped 3 spots. I think you'll have a lot of voters that'll be like, maybe Alabama, because as bad off as Mizzou is right now with missing their quarterback and all that stuff, they should manhandle them. And if that quarterback ain't going to develop, you're going to have a lot of people in Tuscaloosa, I think, calling for a change. And I don't know if DeBoer will want to make that. We'll see.
I asked today on one of the videos I did what his buyout was, and it's like $70 million.
Who, DeBoer? I think DeBoer will. I think if it gets too hot there, I think he'll go OC in the NFL before he lets himself get fired and spend a couple years in the NFL and then probably take some Pac-12 job, Washington. My thing about him, I was pointing out, is Indiana. He was at Indiana and he scouted and recruited all these guys. He didn't scout and recruit Penix. Penix was there when he got there. Mike DeBoer, no relation. He was at the OC at Tennessee. He took over the Indiana OC job when their last coach, I'm drawing a blank on his name, when he took over, him and
Kevin
DeBoer
Wilson?
had time. Yeah. No, not Kevin Wilson. Tom.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, when he came over, DeBoer had retired. That was Butch Jones running him out of town because Butch Jones was jealous that he was getting all the credit for Josh Dobbs' offense. And so Butch ran him out of town, and he retired to be with his family and then picked up another job like 3 months later. And he had recruited Mike Penix at Tennessee when he was committed there. And then when we cut him loose, when Pruitt showed up, smart move, Pruitt, Mike DeBoer brought him to Indiana. And so he was already there when DeBoer got there. My thing is if you look at the talent, which he took a couple of guys, but most of his best talent at Washington, he either stole like his quarterback or they were already there when he got there. And then the talent he's left behind at Washington is absolutely abysmal. And he recruited on paper pretty good for the Pac-12, and they can't do anything. And they've got a pretty decent coach in Jed Fish. It's not like they got a god of waterhead for a coach. So if I was Alabama, I don't care if the recruiting services are telling me, yeah, this quarterback's a 5-star. the only school that wanted him before you wanted him was freaking SMU. And I'm not saying SMU's a bad school, but he was obviously a group of five. Well, SMU's Power 5 now, but it wasn't like all the top schools in the country were wanting him until Alabama went after him. Then Alabama got him, and now all of a sudden he's this elite 5-star, and they made sure he won elite 11 and all this stuff. I would be concerned about what he's scouting, because he left nothing behind to Indiana. Indiana's offense was abysmal after him, and Washington's abysmal without him. And with the way he was recruiting at both of those places comparative to what they had done before, they should be better than they are or were with Indiana. But I don't know. I'd be concerned if I was them, because if you look at a lot of the guys, I would say about 1 out of every 4 guys they land, if you look at their offer list, like right now they're trying to beat out Vanderbilt for a linebacker commit. And I'm like, you're going up against Vanderbilt right now, but we're supposed to believe when this guy commits to you, he's about to be a 5-star or fringe 5-star, and we're supposed to believe he's great now just because this ain't Saban's Alabama, man. Like, you can't just bump a kid up because he's committed to DeBoer. But I'm curious how that's all going to turn out. I think he's in over his head, but we'll see.
I think so too.
All right,
yeah,
Chris, buddy.
Yeah, it's good talking to you guys. We'll see how if Saturday's a crazy day, I'll call in. If not, I'll probably call in after the Kentucky game or before the Kentucky game.
All right, buddy. Well, you have a good day, all right?
Thank you, Chris.
You too.
All right, last one. Dylan, what do you got for the show, man?
Kentucky is only going to win one more game this year.
Yeah, who do you think they're going to beat?
Murray State.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
Everybody beats them.
Yeah.
That's the former Gamecock, what is he, Rob tight ends coach, Jody Wright's team.
Well, you got old Zeb's their quarterback coach.
Yeah.
Zeb's their quarterback coach. So
They should be in the running for an FCS championship by now.
you know what? My dog's down here is like, want me to pet it. Let me see. Let's look at Murray State's record. I know that Mizzou hammered them. What's Murray State? Well, you want to take a guess at what their record is, Jackpot?
0-6.
0-6. Well, they play actually 1-6. Jackpot. Hot damn.
Who did they play? Or who did they beat?
Let's see here. They lost to Missouri 51-0. They got beat by Butler 19-17. They beat Mississippi.
They got beat by a basketball school.
Yeah. They beat Mississippi Valley 59-8. North Dakota beat them 72-35. South Dakota got their ass kicking in on them 59-0. They're over forever against the Dakotas.
They got beat worse by South Dakota than they did by Mizzou.
That's true.
Good
they
Lord.
also lost 31-27 to Indiana State, Larry Bird's alma mater.
Please don't tell me they play North Dakota State, because that's going to be a paddle.
They play North Dakota State this weekend.
Oh, that's going to be a paddling.
They get North Dakota State at home this weekend. Yeah, buddy. I wonder if old Popeye Jones will show up for like homecoming as they get their face ripped off. Yeah, they're 1-6. They're not.
I'm
very
so
good.
damn mad. I took the under in this game, and it's 47. This damn game on here. Kennesaw State's one of the worst offenses in FBS. They put 27 on the fucking board tonight against Liberty, who's undefeated. They're beating them by 10 points. They're probably going to strike the upset. Liberty's driving down here trying to score. So this is going to go over the 47. God dang it. It's so frustrating, man. It's just frustrating as fuck.
Yeah.
It drives me nuts. I mean, you can't get a good beat on anything.
Well, I mean,
They might have.
your name's Carolina Cashpot most of the time, man. You normally win. Come on now. I have faith in you.
It's Carolina broke dick ham sandwich jackass right now.
Yeah. Anyway, so with that, hey Dylan, appreciate you, buddy.
Yep.
See you later. There you go, Dylan joining the program. All right, Jackpot. We've had a good show.
So I guess he thinks Kentucky's not going to get their yearly win over Louisville this year.
No, Big Barney Ross called it. He thinks they're going to win the. They're going to win against. Didn't Big Barney Ross say they were going to beat the Ville? I think they are. So we'll see.
He just says Louisville's overrated, which is true.
Yeah,
Well, I don't know. This Kentucky team doesn't look like it's got much for anybody.
Big Barney Ross wants to know if you want bourbon to get over your cold. I don't know if that would help.
I haven't even really polished off the one that you sent me before, sir.
Uncle Lou wants to know if we can recommend a good ceiling tile brand. I don't know. I'd have to think about that.
I don't know, but I can tell you where to get them from. Ceiling Tiles R Us.
Yeah, Ceiling Tiles R Us has a wide selection that could help you, Uncle Lou. So there's that. All right. Well, it's been a great show, guys. We appreciate y'all and enjoy the games this weekend. We'll see you later on.
Daddy, we can ride the Amtrak train.
Thanks, gang.